Hello, everyone. Welcome to a Pertweesmith11 Who's Round, where we talk about the latest Doctor Who news. Isn't that exciting?
Not Who's Round.
I thought it was like a nice little play on News Round.
Did you just think of that?
No, I've had it for about a year, but that's beside the point. Welcome to Who's Round, everyone. I'm joined by not just Luke,
but Mel.
Luke was going to say hello.
Oh, I'm sorry. Luke, say hello.
Hello.
There we go.
So 3 of us today.
Aren't we all lucky?
It's a rarity on this channel. It's usually just 2.
I know, it feels strange having somebody interrupting our flow, a conversation.
Well, I'll just sit back and observe.
Yeah, but you wanted to come and talk about Tennant. But yeah, a lot has happened. We've had quite a bit of news. We've had a new Doctor since we last spoke. We've had the return of David Tennant and Catherine Tate, and a new person joining the Who family. So while I wait for a few people to join, Luke, what have you been doing? How have you been occupying yourself?
Just working, really, I guess.
Solid.
Getting through the daily grinds and listening to quite a few big finishes to get us ready for another live stream we're doing this Friday.
Mm-hmm.
We're finally getting to that novel adaptations tier list that we've been talking about for ages.
Finally getting around to it.
Yeah.
Definitely done our homework for it.
Yeah. It feels good to have gone back to them all, though. But yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Our full thoughts will be revealed coming Friday.
Mm.
How about you two? How have you both been?
Yeah, how have you been up? How have you been doing?
I've been great, thanks. How are you?
No, I asked you first. So, what have you been doing? How have you been occupying yourself?
I've been with you since Saturday, so been occupying myself that way.
All right.
But yeah, being in. I know. I feel bad for myself.
3 years, yeah.
Yeah, I was in uni last week of uni. Finished it on Friday, just got one more deadline to do tomorrow. That was due tomorrow, so better be doing that soon. And yeah, done my final ever performance.
Final ever? You're making it sound grander than it is.
It was my final ever performance. I'm never going to perform again. I've been performing since I was 8, and now I'm 21. And I've not going to perform again, so that's a bit sad. But we roll, and yeah, end of an era, but beginning of a new one.
Yeah, pretty much the same for me.
Yeah,
just uni, bit of Eccleston, been nice. Bit of the Big Finish podcast. That's been me really. That's all I've been doing. That's all I've been occupying myself with.
Yeah.
But I think before we dive into the latest news, why are you mimicking me? Right. We had our new Doctor announced, Ncuti Gatwa, and obviously we spoke about it. Yeah. What do you make of Ncuti, Luke?
I think it's very exciting, really. I've not seen Sex Education, though, sadly, except for like a few odd clips that have gone around, right? Like not just in relation to the new Doctor, but like back when, like back when Sex Education first started. It's like 3 series in now, isn't it? Would that have been like 2018, maybe the first one?
I think 19.
Yeah, 18 or 19, isn't it?
No, it was 19 because it was when we're in uni and people were talking about it.
That was series 2, though.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Well, I think series 1 must have been early 2019, and then that was like 2020 or something.
2018 or 2019.
Yeah, especially with Netflix, they like it's like a 2-year gap usually between seasons, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, they also do that thing where they really pushed the first one, and so I remember like seeing clips of it everywhere.
Yeah.
But just never really went into it, I guess.
It is really good, though. I do recommend. I do love that show.
I've not finished the last series, but
is it finished up now, or has it got one more series to come?
They're filming one more. They're filming season 4. I'm assuming that's probably going to be the last season. I do feel like they should leave it on that season because I feel like
they should have left.
If they'd have wrapped up the last episode of season 3 better without leaving so many cliffhangers, then that would have been a really excellent place to leave it. But I do think season 4 should be it because obviously Ncuti's going to go into being a doctor, and I know Emma Emma Mackey, is that her name? Who plays Maeve? She's got like a big thing lined up. I can't remember what it was, but I did read about
She's
it.
doing the Barbie movie with Shooty because her and Shooty.
Oh yeah, I did
together.
see that actually. But there's something else that she's doing as well that was quite big. So she's got that lined up, and all that cast are so successful in their own right. Like obviously, like you've got Gillian Anderson in it. Shout out to Becky, who won't be watching this, but like Becky's my best friend. She loves Gillian, so gotta give her a little shout out there. But yeah, obviously Gillian's like a big name in it, and she's got so many other projects going on as well. So I do feel like season 4 would be the best place to wrap it, because as well, I don't want it just getting like samey and old.
Well,
like,
it was quite the same with the first two because like will they, won't they, will they, won't they.
I kind of just want them, as much as I love it, I do want them to just wrap it up before I get tired of it.
Well, I should only been.
Do you want to leave it? Yeah.
It's in like sixth form, isn't it?
It's what? Sorry.
It's like a sixth form, isn't it? So like a sixth form's only 2 years, so like makes sense, but is what it is.
You want to leave it while you still love it. It's like leaving and wanting more, not leaving and wishing it had ended sooner.
Exactly. Like it was like I used to watch a series called Pretty Little Liars when I was
Nobody
younger.
knows this.
No, I don't care though. But there was a series called Pretty Little Liars. I won't go into it, but like they should have left that at about like season 5, but instead it did 7 seasons, and it just got so dire and so dull. Like, and it was just disappointing in the end. But then that's all you remember about it. You don't remember the good stuff.
I mean, speaking of leaving and wanting and more, our man David Tennant. See that segue?
Hey, that was great. Segue.
David Tennant and Catherine Tate, arguably the most iconic of the new Who pairings.
Probably Doctor Who at all, really.
Yeah, they're up there.
What about Eccleston and Rose?
Everyone skips 9.
Everyone who skips 9, get off the live stream.
Right, because you've got to do uni work, we'll go to you first. Just so you can actually like stop you procrastinating. So
before you insult too many of our viewers.
Yeah, with your pretty little.
I'm not insulting anybody.
You just told anybody who skips 9 to get off the live stream.
Exactly.
Well, yeah,
I mean, it's a sentiment I agree with, but I didn't say it.
Exactly.
No, but I just think that like if you skip 9, that's just so sad. Because he's so iconic.
He is iconic, and we love Eccleston here.
We do. Eccleston is my boy.
Right. So, what do you think of Tennant and Catherine Tate?
I'm very, very excited to have them back.
Is that what you've got to say?
No, obviously not. But obviously, like, I've not seen Tennant and Tate together yet because, like, we only got up to, like, just before Rose leaves. So I've not seen the pairing as of yet, but I've seen, like, clips and everything, and I know how iconic they are. And obviously, for majority of the fandom, they are, like, one of the most iconic pairings. So it's nice to see them back. And, like, you captioned it, you're like, oh, my childhood is back. And I think that's how...
Doctor Who.
Well, that's what I mean. I think that's what it's going to be like for a lot of people, though. Everybody's going to feel that sort of like joy and inner child come back because that's like the Doctor they grew up with, and now he's coming back to the show. And he's literally not aged. Like, that man needs to give everybody like a skincare routine.
I saw somebody like when he was doing comic relief going, "Oh, David Tennant's got Botox." I'm like, no, that man's never touched Botox.
He does not look like he's had an inch of Botox. He's just aged perfectly.
He's like a fine wine.
So is Catherine Tate, though, to be honest.
Fair,
look at her go.
Yeah, they both haven't aged, to be honest, both of them.
No.
I mean, she looked a bit older than Nan, but other than that.
Well, obviously.
I know.
That's like natural, but
no,
you know what I mean?
That. It's prosthetics for Nan.
Huh. I got confused. But like, no, but like, I just think, like, obviously you can tell they've got a bit...
Be quiet.
You can tell that they've gotten a bit older. However, they've aged like an absolute fine wine.
Okay. Is that what you got to say?
Yeah.
Right, go and do your sway.
Okay.
Because you got to do uni work. And...
I might join back before the end. Just message me.
Okay. Have fun.
Bye.
Bye.
See you later.
See you later, pal.
Bye, everybody. Bye, Luke. I mean, I can't hear Luke now because you robbed my earphone.
He says good luck. He says good luck with it all.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Right, let's get back to the professionals now.
Excuse me.
Oh, God.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a good time. Bye. So, like, What do you think? What do you think of the news?
As a professional,
As a professional, yeah.
It is so exciting. Like I
Be
think
quiet.
it's been rumored for so long now, hasn't it? We've had like
Yeah.
so many supposed leaks and stuff, and then with Shooty's announcement last week, it felt like all that was being put to bed now. It's like, okay, they've announced the 14th Doctor now, they're not going to do anything else. All this, it was fun speculation, but we've got what's actually happening now. And then suddenly there's this tease on Instagram at like 5:30, I think it was yesterday.
Yeah, it seems like their favorite Instagram, isn't it? It seems like social media seems like such a good platform.
Oh, can't hear anything you're saying, Ben.
Oh no, damn, this is bad. It's Mel interfering now. Can you hear me now? Nope.
I don't know if this is a problem on my end or.
Oh damn, what's going on here? Can people hear me? I don't know.
Let's check the chat.
Check the chat.
Can anyone else hear Ben at the moment?
Is it me? I might have to reconnect, but I'll let you talk. Hang on, is my microphone? Yeah, my microphone's picking up.
Wait, I think. Oh, I can hear you now. I'm not sure.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Maybe accidentally not. Maybe it was something at my end.
Oh, maybe it was. Oh, I can hear you both.
Oh, we can hear. Yeah, it must have been me that messed that up.
Okay, it made me panic.
Yeah.
Made me panic.
It wasn't your mic. It was my headphones. There we go.
But I think social media just seems like a good place for them to promote it because that's where most people get their news now. So it seems like a good place to be dropping all that stuff. But yeah, going back to what you were saying,
Yeah, I'm glad that with that as well, it's only an hour and a half or so between like the tease and then the announcement.
It was killer, wasn't it?
Yeah. Like I know loads of people were refreshing the feed and stuff, weren't they?
I was doing the same.
Yeah. But then whereas you go back to that time just before Flux, where the socials were completely tanked for a couple of days as like their big promotional thing. Like no one really knew what was going on with that, and it lasted quite a while. Whereas this, it's right to the point. Like you have a little bit of a tease to build up the anticipation, and then boom, here you go. Here's the news that you're given. Nice little quote from Russell to round things up. And just get the speculation going, really.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like that's definitely. And then we got even more speculation going on after that because they started actually started filming on location today. So we won't go into that stuff just yet. I think we'll discuss all the official stuff first and then give anyone who doesn't want to be potentially spoiled there the chance to head off. Not that it will. I don't think there's anything particularly spoilery in there.
I think it's all fair game, though, isn't it? Really, if it's out there, you can't keep it quiet.
No, I think it's all over Twitter, and yeah, like it all will be announced eventually anyway before the episode.
Even if it's not officially announced, the official sources will retweet.
Yeah,
non-official accounts. Yeah, but I guess we'll talk about that a bit later on. I guess.
Yeah, we'll go through what we have for the meat and potatoes, as it were, before we get to our dessert, I guess.
I mean, we are feasting very good, speaking of like the food analogies.
Yeah, like to have all this news so close together. Like, what, 8 days? 9 days?
Yeah, pretty much, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, who knows what tomorrow could bring at this point? Like, it feels like anything can happen now.
Is it like going to be like a reoccurring thing every Sunday? We get like a big drop going. By the way, here's so and so.
Nah, maybe. I mean, maybe get spin-off announcements at some point before.
Yeah, because we don't really know what this Tennant and Tate thing is. Whether it is the 60th or it's part of Russell's grand empire of rebuilding Doctor Who, where we have these multiple spin-offs. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's all a bit vague, which is great for us to speculate.
Yeah, and then I suppose won't find out until maybe October. I suppose be when I first get our proper look at what could be happening.
I wonder if we get like a tease after the centenary then.
Yeah, maybe because if they're already filming now, they definitely be able to get something ready to tease by then.
Hmm.
Is that too early though? Especially for a TV, like over a year in advance potentially. But
I mean, this is the thing. We don't know the structure of what things going to work. Are we going to have a Christmas special? There's a lot of rumor that Russell's going to bring those back. Is it going to be a New Year special? Like, there's so much going on. Is it
much sooner than we think?
Yeah, is this series 14? Is it part of the specials? Then we get series 14 later on down. Honestly, it's just real buzz about it, really.
Yeah, like the wording is very strange, like filming scenes for, to coincide with the 60th. I think is the exact words they use there, isn't it? Which is, it's extremely vague.
Because it raises more questions than it gives answers, this little press release.
Yeah, and I think that's the right kind of press release to have, really. For something like this, especially when it's something that has been leaked and talked about for such a long time now.
Mm-hmm.
It's good not to suddenly have all the answers. It's like we've got the official confirmation and then more questions from that. Which, whereas with a lot of the stuff during the Jodie Whittaker era, it's been just radio silence for the most part when it comes to these things, like even the smallest details.
This is why it feels so strange having this much news.
Yeah, especially with Russell, who is very much on the pulse when it comes to social media. He's there, he's teasing, he's talking to people about this. And so that's exciting. That's really drumming up the hype. And then just the presence that this has brought it. Like, I think discussing film on what's like the news site that usually does really big film news. The fact that they're now talking about Doctor Who as well and unveiling these announcements is pretty big and shows how huge this news is, really.
I think it just shows like the cultural impact Russell had and still has now.
It makes it feel prestige again.
Yeah,
it's bringing.
It really does.
Yeah, it's putting it up there among a lot of those bigger shows that are going on at the moment.
And I think we said a couple live streams when he was like hinting Doctor Who needs its own like Marvel Cinematic Universe. It needs a platform like Disney Plus. Those things, like I say, have so much more weight behind it now. And those show, like you say, have a lot of prestige behind. And Doctor Who's definitely up there now.
Yeah,
it's getting to those heights now.
And I think, bringing these two back from when Doctor Who was at its previous highest, I'd say, I mean, the 50th was definitely a big one. But I still don't know if that quite rivaled Series 4 hype.
I think the 50th was sort of a one night only, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like, I love the 50th, but it was that sort of week of roller coaster with Series 4, really, wasn't it? When you speak to most people go, "Oh, I stopped watching when David Tennant left."
Yeah, and now this is sort of like a good way to bring those people back in, really, and then hopefully they'll stick on with Shooty.
Which, from like, I wouldn't say leak, but it kind of seems like they might be going that way, if you know what I mean. From a certain Reddit post.
I mean, do you want to have a quick look at the quote from Russell? Please.
Which bit's that?
I think that might be a bit higher up. I think it's like between the two photos. Yeah, there it is.
There we go.
Russell
They're back.
Showrunner says they're back, and it looks impossible. First, we announce a new Doctor, then an old Doctor, along with the wonderful Donna. What on earth is happening? Maybe this is a missing story, or a parallel world, or a dream, or a trick, or a flashback. The only thing I confirm is that it's going to be spectacular as two of our greatest stars reunite for the battle of a lifetime. So yeah, from that, I feel like it's not any of them.
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't mention all that. I think, the prevailing theory is that this is after the centenary, Jodie's going to degenerate, as it were, back into David Tennant. And then that's going to be a mystery from there. and then Donna's going to come along as well, and it's going to be Donna post everything else, which makes sense. 'Cause I think Catherine herself has aged a bit more visibly, and so it makes sense to pick up on her life so much later, and also, and feel like to do something different as well. So like rather than just go back and revisit those old stories in a Big Finish style, to carry them on. Because I think Russell has said like how he dealt with Donna may be one of his biggest regrets with the show, like how she was written off, and so going back to that could be very exciting, and sort of like give a chance to redo things there.
But I think as well, having these two back, I think it plays to nostalgia's become such a big thing in like pop culture now, of like Spider-Man having Andrew Garfield back and Tobey Maguire back. I think there's some interesting stories to say like how nostalgia can be quite a dangerous thing, and I think it's making me kind of, if Russell can tap into that, it's going to be something special. Really is.
Yeah, so that is the big thing, isn't it, at the moment? Like, we've got Obi-Wan coming back, and like you say, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield for Spider-Man. Nostalgia really is a hit industry in itself at the moment, isn't it?
It's like, give the geeks what they want. And yeah, we're loving it. We lap it up.
And so it's only right for Doctor Who to tap into that in its own way. But, yeah. I mean, imagine Murray Gold's going to be back as well now. Like that,
just to give it that more authentic feel, that'd be great. Like, are we going to have like the same 2008 intro, or are we going to have like slightly updated, tweaked? Who knows? Because we also had a new person joining the team as well, isn't it? I think it's Yasmin somebody from Heartstopper. That seems to be taking the world by storm. I've not watched it yet.
Yeah, Yasmin Finney. Finney. Yeah, I should have probably looked up how to pronounce that.
Pronounce it, yeah.
They're playing a character called Rose.
Which people are saying, I don't know if this is a spoiler. Can we say it? I don't know. It's all speculation at this point.
Yeah. It's hard, isn't it? When you've seen these potential leaks, it's like stuff that we may have theorized anyway.
Yeah.
But certainly I'd say, what the prevailing talk is that she is Donna's daughter.
Yeah.
With I can't remember his name.
Bloke from End of Time.
Yeah,
Which, it'd be interesting if Tennant is so-called 14th Doctor 0.5 or something, 13.5, whatever you want to say. And then obviously she'll meet David, and then maybe become Shooty's companion, because they were seen together. So I think that would be quite an interesting thing, really.
I think it's odd that Doctor Who hasn't done it before, the idea of a legacy companion. Like, 'cause so many other franchises do it. Like, you got Star Wars and such, where you got, say, Ben Solo there as the child of Han and Leia. So it's funny that Doctor Who's never gone back to a previous companion and then had their child or grandchild hop on board the TARDIS. So this could...
Doctor Who Adventures did it with, I think, Jamie McCrimmon.
Oh yeah, isn't it like it's quite
Heather?
I
want to say Heather.
Yeah.
I want to say
with the 10th Doctor. But yeah, like not on screen though.
Yeah,
I mean, Big Finish have done it as well with Anya. So,
but it's true. Yeah,
I think she's like niece, isn't she, to Sarah?
Yeah.
But yeah, certainly. Like when it comes to on screen, I think this is the right time to do it as well, because like all the big classic companions are pretty much gone at this point, or have already had that explored out of the way. Like you got Sarah Jane Smith, obviously, whereas now we're at the point where obviously these companions back in 2006, 7 and 8 can be parents.
Which feels so wrong, because that's only like a couple of years ago in my head.
Yeah. But now, I mean, how old is Yasmin herself?
I have no idea. Percy,
I think.
no idea. Definitely not 8 years old from the press release.
No.
But yeah, the press release is quite small.
18.
18, okay.
Yeah. I believe there was a casting call out for what's a trans mixed race actress a while
Okay.
ago to do a Bad Wolf. So I'm assuming this is where that led to.
No, maybe.
Maybe it has.
Maybe it is.
Yeah. And I think that was like meant to be around, the character was said to be like 16 or something. But obviously you could play that a bit younger.
Yeah. Could.
Yeah, an actress who can play that a bit younger. Yeah, and if they do go on to be the companion as well, that'd be huge for trans visibility.
Would be.
So hopefully,
and it almost sort of feels a bit of a shame that Big Finish have done it before the actual show, in a way.
But that's the thing. A lot of the time, Big Finish does do these things first.
Yeah. Do you feel like the actual show should be on the pulse on like those sort of things? And yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they sort of tried it before, not full-on companion, but we had quite a bit of dodgy representation in Sleep No More, sadly.
Yeah, that wasn't too good.
But I think with Russell, it's someone who can very much just treat him as a human being, really. It's something that Sleep No More failed with spectacularly. And so I think having her be Donna's daughter, people will already be predisposed to like her already. So
I think as well, it's a good sort of hook, line, and sinker, really, because people are like, oh, it's David Tennant and Catherine Tate, great. They follow those adventures and in comes Shooty. We've got to know the character. So, yeah, I think it's a real clever way of getting not only old people back, but new people back as well.
Yeah. And I think it's Russell's way as well, isn't it? He does like these little connections all throughout his era. And so it makes sense for him to start with this, sort of pick up where he left off in a way with David and Catherine, and then use that to springboard his new era and sort of like sow the seeds further there.
Yeah.
And then he's also got Rose as his first companion of both eras, or first full-on companion.
I'm sure we're going to have a mention of Tyler, because if you look at Russell's work, there's either a Rose, Smith, Jones, and all that sort of stuff. There'll be mention of it.
Yeah. I think he says it like helps him to write, doesn't it? If he's got those familiar names. Yeah.
But I forgot to mention, I've not mentioned my thoughts on Tennant and Tate coming back.
Go for it.
It's exciting, isn't it? I mean,
it really is.
I mean, we said before we went live how there's sort of been a cultural shift with Tennant. 10 years ago, it was a different landscape. We were all like, oh, Tennant, we're all that edgy teenagers going, oh, classic series is where it's at, But now we've matured and we realize, you know what, Russell's era was phenomenal bit of television. It was really a golden age. And I think in 2016, when David come back to Big Finish and Catherine Tate joined as well, I think that's when the reevaluation of Tennant happened for me, because I was a big fan of sticking up for Smith, because I was fed up of people going, oh, Matt Smith's terrible. I was like, no. And I think that's where I've sort of built a brick barrier against Tennant going, no, he's terrible. Smith's better.
Yeah, you sort of like tip the scales too far the wrong way sometimes, don't you? In like defense of something that you see as getting punched down on, you sort of feel like, okay, let's punch up, as it were. Let's go for the popular thing. When you could just love it all.
Yeah.
I think we've reached that point now where the scales have equaled and we've realized they're all really great. Let's just share the love.
And I think because we've had so much of Tennant on Big Finish, and long may it continue.
Yeah, would 10th Doctor Classic Companions be the last for a while?
Yeah, that's the thing, because every time there's a new Tennant Big Finish, I'm on it, because I'm like, that's childhood. I need it in my ears right now. So Yeah, the scales have definitely changed for sure. And anything Tennant I can get my hands on, I'm there. So yeah, I'm very excited.
Yeah. I mean, who isn't really? I mean, there are some people who
Oh yeah, but they're in their edgelord
flashing that.
phases.
Yeah. It's something
And
they'll
that's
grow out of
fine.
and they'll come around and appreciate this, hopefully.
Yeah. It's just the fact of Russell writing these two characters again.
Yeah, that's it. Like, it's not them being brought back by someone else. It's being brought back by who originally wrote them. This is everyone who worked on the series back then, pretty much, coming back, stepping into it. And it feels so exciting. It almost doesn't feel like a continuation of a show we've been watching the last 10 years. It feels like, this relaunch of a show we used to watch back in the day.
Yeah. It just feels like a weird fever dream. Like, I'm going to wake up any minute now. Yeah. And it is a strange time. It does. And long may it continue, because I'm living for this bit of news we're getting. I mean, I think today's bit of news is our last one from Russell's post. I think he said that will be it for now. Let's focus on Jodie. I mean, even
he said
dropped
that after shooting.
Yeah.
So.
I
do feel like we've had enough for a while.
He did drop the Centenary's runtime without chipping on.
90 minutes.
Yeah, he's doing promo for the last story. It's amazing. Like, the man just is a absolute sort of promotion machine.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully that does mean that we get time to tell a good story in there.
Yeah.
I don't want to get my hopes up too high, because we've been bitten many times before, but I think with a lot of them recently, say Legend of the Sea Devils or the Vanquishers, it does feel like a lot's been cut out either on the cutting room floor or before that in scripts, just to trim it down. Whereas hopefully 90 minutes will be the right amount to tell the story organically. But then again, it could just be that this is a 2-hour worth story cut down again, because I do feel like a lot of Tribunal stories overstuffed themselves.
I think that was the thing with Series 12, where you notice that sort of there's a lot of ideas in there, and it doesn't know what idea to favour, and it often picks the weaker idea.
Yeah.
Like the Vanquishers, you had the big sort of house thing teased in like War of the Sontarans, and you're like, that's the interesting thing you should be focusing on. And then it's sort of like, let's focus on, I don't know, something else.
Yeah. Or you have stories like, what was that one in Series 11, Episode 9?
Is it Takes You Away?
Yeah, It Takes You Away, that's it. Where that sort of starts off focusing on one thing and then shifts to something else. And you're like, no, where could we stick? It almost Stones of Bloods you, in a way.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
Yeah, hello to everyone in the chat, by the way. I think
let's have a look at the old chat.
Yeah, hello to Ben Miller. It would be marvellous to have the 14th Doctor, Shooter Gatwa, and the 10th Doctor, David Tennant. Yeah, I don't know if they're even going to meet, really. Because certainly, the way it's been put, it doesn't seem like a multi-Doctor story.
Yeah. Because the rumour was, like, Tennant and Smith would be leading a mini-series in the 60th year, so we could be getting the Matt Smith announcement anytime now. If the rumours are true, that is.
Yeah, I think there's so many different rumours going around as well.
Yeah, the thing is, you can believe it, though. That's the thing.
Yeah,
you don't know what to believe. Now. Yeah.
But I feel like I would be happy if it was just this, though. I think so. Like, if we are going to be having more Doctors and such, I'll welcome it. I'll be happy to have more going on there. But I think there's so much story that could be told here that I'm happy to just go back to those 2008 vibes and enjoy it for a little bit longer in this celebration. Because with the centenary, that seems to be more of a big celebration of all of Doctor Who. Like, we've got Ace and Tegan back there. We've got Master, Cybermen and Daleks. I think rather than having two big celebrations like that in a row, it would be nice to have still a celebratory feel by looking back to the past, but having it be in a very different style. And have it be a very Russell style as well.
It's just the idea of Russell doing like a special just feels really bizarre because he never did it.
No. I mean, someone's also mentioned out on Twitter that this time frame, like before the 50th, Moffat would have been deep into Series 7 Part 1, really, working on that. I think getting all that. I think it would have been shot by now, like 10 years ago.
I think,
But there'd be a lot of post-production work still to go. And then obviously there was all that other stuff with The Snowmen and Series 7 Part 2 to get through as well. Whereas Russell just has to focus on the 60th and then stuff afterwards as well. But he's got so much more lead time here.
Oh, yeah.
So he can really make it the best it can be. Whereas I think Moffat, sadly, was overworked at that time. Like, he had openly admitted that it was absolute chaos. He had Sherlock as well going on. He didn't know if Matt Smith was even going to sign on for the 50th.
Yeah, Jenna Cohn was the only one contracted, which is mental.
Yeah. Well, I think he did write some of a script for a possible, or like maybe not a script, but an outline for what he could do if it was just Jenna.
I'm sure Big Finish will do that eventually.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, the lost 50th.
There's a market for it. I'm sure
there is. So, yeah, just get. Ben Miller says, hopefully Matt Smith does join the world of Big Finish. Yeah, I suppose that's like the next big thing to really get us going, isn't it? Big Finish.
That's the thing. Like, if Matt Smith does Big Finish and the 60th are like, there'll be no impact on it really, because we're getting him on screen. Hello, Adam. How are you, my chap?
Wishing you all well. Wishing you the best too, Adam. Hello, YouTube. Thank you for joining us.
Hello.
No, morning, Mr. Bonk Cactus. David Tennant and Catherine Tate have been drinking from Paul Rudd's Fountain of Youth, a stylish one. Indeed, they have.
Or Paul McGann's.
I
mean, I do want something McGann related.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I think with, say, Matt Smith or Peter Capaldi, like, we've had a lot of them anyway, but if it was Paul McGann, I'd gladly take that because he's had so little in terms of television and he still looks the same.
Yeah.
Like, he's aged a bit, but because he's aged in universe anyway, with like Night of the Doctor being like, he still looks like he could play that easily.
I think if we don't get him for like any of the 60th content, I feel like McGann's got to be part of Russell's bigger like spin-off type of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be brilliant, getting something there.
Maybe Joe Martin, that would be cool.
I don't know. Since she's announced for Big Finish, I wonder if they would now.
Okay.
Because I feel like maybe Russell would have, like, if he had plans for her, would have grabbed her up before that and said, no, you can't do anything with her just yet. I've got my own.
I mean, the more Joe Martin, the merrier, to be honest.
It's like that from Clone Wars, the Palpatine meme of, I have other plans for you. Other uses for you. That's Russell with Joe Martin if he did have plans. I mean, he could have thought of something since then, but I feel like that's something he would have nabbed up, sadly. Unless maybe he's just trying to keep us off the scent and said, yeah, go do some Big Finish for fun while I cook up a mini-series for you.
I can see it, though.
Guessing. Yeah.
I can see it. I'll be down for it.
If I could kiss Russell on the head for this, I would, says Mr. Bonk Cactus, wouldn't we all?
I think, yeah, definitely. Bad wolf, I could kiss you.
Adam the Ultimate Hoovian says, not sure he hasn't even put the Big Finish. I've just put a the in there for some reason. Sorry, Adam.
It's all the excitement.
Yeah. It's the David Tennant and the Catherine Tate are coming back to the Doctor Who by Russell the Davis.
Kill the Marsh, Davros. Kill the Marsh. He better that better be in his script.
Yeah. I swear I heard somewhere that the T in Russell Davis doesn't actually stand for anything.
It's
There
like
was an
Jenny T. Colgan just copied Russell. Because somebody asked, what's the T? And it's like, I just copied Russell. It means nothing.
Yeah. Apparently there was like another Russell Davis working at the time. And so he had to differentiate himself somehow. Just I'll put a T in there.
I mean, it works. Works fine.
Fair enough. And so anyway, as I was reading Adam's comment here, not sure what Big Finish are going to do now for the 60th. Light at the end 2 Electric Boogaloo. Yeah, I mean, they've had plans for quite a while, haven't they?
2020, I'd say.
Yeah.
2019, 2020.
Quite a while getting stuff recorded. I think they said like the last of it's going to be recorded October this year sometime.
I guess we're getting news on like the 50th because we seem to get a fair bit of news now on like Doctor Who Day.
Yeah, 23rd. I imagine we'll be starting to get some big news then as well because the last few years it's just been like animation, hasn't it?
And you think Chibbers would be gone within a couple of weeks of then? So it's like it's all Russell then.
Yeah, like he will have free reign to really have fun with the marketing then.
Yeah, people are already panicking about the collection box set logo.
Yeah. Stylish One says Waterworlds is dropping tomorrow. There's a premiere for the trailer set up on YouTube. Were you getting it physical, Luke? Yes, I've got the bundle. I've ordered the CD bundle, so I'm getting that and whatever set's coming up next.
You're going all out this year, Lucas, for physical stuff.
Yeah, it seems so with the relaunch. I think I've got so many of them. I might as well finish it off now.
Yeah. I didn't think you'd get the Outlaws after the way you were, bashing the cover, but here you are. You got it on your shelf. You love it.
Yeah. Maybe I'll come round on Beyond War Games as well. We'll see. But yeah, I think try to keep Big Finish chats the minimum for now because we do have Big Finish Fans Friday, so we go for all the recent news.
Yeah.
Trying to keep it TV show centric for a change, aren't we?
Yeah, hopefully we can. But of course, Big Finish does creep in when because we love it.
Yeah. But yeah, it does raise a question with their 60th. Like, how much of a 60th would it feel now that we've got Tennant coming back on TV?
And then you've got the centenary as well. Yeah.
So obviously, before back in 2013, they only had the first 8 Doctors anyway. Mm-hmm. So they've brought them all together now. Although I suppose they didn't quite have like full-on actors for first, second, and third Doctor then.
Yeah.
It was more just another 5 Doctors, so maybe they could do a bit more with that now. Yeah, it'd feel weird leaving out Eccleston and Tennant though. But at the same time, will they be allowed to use Tennant if he's going to be on screen for the 60th potentially?
But is he the 10th Doctor, what we all know and love?
He seems to have a darker coat now, so.
Oh, he's a Valyard.
It's finally coming around.
Oh, mental. Yeah. Ben, I must ask, what do you think if Gatiss penned a Pertwee biopic? I'd be down for that. I feel like that'll be probably one of the next biopics, maybe.
I hope they do some more of them. I think it would be fitting.
And I think
the Pertwee era does have the most potential for a follow-up to Adventure in Space and Time.
I think because Gatiss is such a huge Pertwee fan, because he wrote Last for Gathering, one of my favourite Doctor Who books out there. And then he was on the season 10 overview of the Pertwee era, wasn't he? The third man, was it? Or the third time around, something like that. And you just know the man has got so much. I feel like that would be a real passion project for Gatiss, really. So yeah, I'd be down for it, and I'm sure he'll cast himself as Pertwee.
Yeah, he dressed up as him alongside Bradley and Reese, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. But yeah, I'll be definitely down for that.
Yeah. Adam also says, I think the centenary is the 300th story, 200 being Planet of the Dead and 100 being Stones of Blood. Yeah, I suppose it's all a bit wibbly wobbly after you get to the Trial of a Time Lord, isn't it? So it count.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. And I suppose Sharda as well, that throws it off. Do you count that? Do you not?
Yeah, that's another
Yeah.
awkward one. But I remember when Planet of the Dead sort of was just about to air, and like Doctor Who magazine did like 200 of like the best moments, or like a big poll or something. Yeah, that was a big monumental thing.
Yeah, you shift the numbers depending on what you want to celebrate, really.
Yeah,
Doctor Who's had a lot of stories, let's put it that way.
I mean, every year seems to be a celebration of something, which is wonderful.
Especially with Big Finish.
We love them.
Celebrating Peladon.
Yeah.
I don't blame them for it, but
Oh no,
it's funny.
It's you could say it's perfect to mine.
Oh. Tennant returned to screen before you uploaded another YouTube video, Luke. Very true. I've been adopted by Ben now.
Yeah, it's every week now you're getting leaked content.
Yeah.
Should
we? Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry,
go
what
on.
were you going to say?
No, I was just going to say,
should we dive into some potentially more spoilery stuff with the filming leaks now?
Yeah, I can do. I'll just load it up and I'll let you have a little chat to fill in the time where I try and find said images, because I didn't know how deep you wanted to go with this, but we're diving in. We're diving in.
I suppose might as well. I mean, when we first decided to do this, we didn't know that all this was going to be coming our way. But yeah, basically,
hindsight's a wonderful thing.
Yeah. Spoiler warning, sort of. We are going to be discussing some stuff that's been seen filming out in Cardiff. It's Cardiff, isn't it?
I think it's Camden in London.
Oh, is it? I heard London, but I thought they might have been just talking about, London in the show with Cardiff doubling in, because that's how it always used to be.
Yeah, that's the old classic.
Yeah. But yeah, they have been seen out filming the show. So if you only want to stick to official sources, now is your chance to head on out. Thank you for joining us. If you are leaving, if you're sticking with us, then we will dive into what's been going on, because a familiar face has been spotted, hasn't he? An old friend.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Despite it being all over Twitter, I'm having a right pain in the arse trying to find it.
I was like, it's already been and gone, isn't it?
Yeah.
That was
People
like
on
the lunchtime. Yeah, sure. Wilf is back, which, I mean, it's sort of unsurprising following this news. But yeah, and then even a fake Doctor Who Twitter account tweeted out saying Wilf is back in the same style as these two announcements, and both DWM and Bad Wolf retweeted it.
So it's legit, even if you questioned it.
Yeah, and you can see him there in a wheelchair on set, being pushed around by David and Catherine into Jodie's TARDIS.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is the video I found. Hopefully it is. Yeah, there we go. I found the video. If I can load that in a new tab, that would be wonderful.
Well,
have you got the ability to screen share?
I do actually. I don't have it. I don't have any stuff up though.
Oh, I thought you did.
Oh, is it? I've just seen a good quality image actually.
Share away. I'll stop sharing and I'll let you share.
Okay. Let's see if it lets me.
See, we're very organised here.
Share screen.
It's not like a Zoom thing where I've got to give you permission.
I don't know. I'm just getting it up.
Oh, you're loading it up? Okay, cool.
Let's see. Is that now working?
I'll have a look. So I'm just.
Problem is, if I ever look, it'll be then sharing the YouTube stream.
I'll add it to the stream. There we go. There we go. Add it to the stream. I can see that.
Very good.
Yeah, get a Tennant's new dark coat. Very exciting.
Yeah. Looks very fitting, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like a used up 10th Doctor costume, doesn't it, really? Like a modern spin of Geek Chic.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can see that man has not aged. You just think that could have been taken 10 years ago.
Spiky hair as well. Back to that look. That's great to see.
After the death of Doctor fiasco, it makes it feel more authentic to the 10th Doctor.
Yeah, I didn't even know that was a thing, to be honest, until recently when everyone was talking about, he's going to have the spiky hair again. And then I saw that so many people were upset about their Doctor. I suppose because I was less in fan circles back then.
Yeah.
So I didn't see it. I just saw David Tennant. Oh, he's the 10th Doctor. That'll do me.
I mean, here's a random question, and it's to do with David Tennant's hair.
We're going deep cut here.
Bear with me. Do you prefer the sort of early series to like school reunion look, or do you prefer like the proper spiky uppy hair?
I think I do prefer the spiky uppy hair.
Okay.
But I'd say they're very close though.
I think for me, I prefer the series 2, like the slightly combed look to it, but still spiky gel.
Yeah, isn't it?
But then again, series
that
go on.
Early characterization, like when you sort of feel like this could go anywhere.
I think series 4 is probably peak Tennant hair. I think in a way, like the Sontar and sort of two-parter and like Doctor's Daughter. I'm like, that's peak Tennant look for me.
Yeah, it's the look you imagine when you think David Tennant, isn't it? When you think 10th Doctor, the spiky hair's what comes to mind.
Yeah, in the blue, because the blue suit's the superior one, but you can't make out what suit that is. It looks like it's the brown one, could be black. Who knows?
Yeah, it does look quite dark. He's getting more and more blue as the years go on.
Yeah.
But it's our childhood. It's back, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's the exciting thing. Are we going to see a revival of BBC Books?
Is the Doctor Who Confidential going to come back?
Russell did. I don't know if he did like a joking tweet when it was like one of the lockdown things. He's like, "Bring back Confidential," and I'm like, "Oh, go on, Russell, you could do it."
Yeah, if he has the power, he can. I feel like you've at least got to have something like that for the 60th. Like if all these celebrations going on, it would be right to have, a behind the scenes look at all that, like a proper on TV one as well, not just an online exclusive one.
But yeah, it just feels bizarre seeing all these photos. You're like, damn, it's happening in real time. This is not a fan film.
It's not a drill. Yeah.
It's not a drill. It really isn't. It's like, what surprises are we going to get tomorrow?
Yeah, because they'll be filming for the next 2 months, I think, 2 or 3. I think it goes into July.
Like this time last week, this poor woman tweeted, "I've just spotted David Tennant in Cardiff." The woman then got death threats. Now the woman must feel so vindicated, going, "I was telling the truth." It is mental.
Yeah. I mean, even if she was lying about it, it's not right to send that kind of abuse to in anyone's direction.
Yeah, it's not right, really.
Especially over something as petty as that.
Yeah. But there we go. Tennant's back. Jodie's tart. Yeah, it just feels weird seeing Tennant with Jodie's tart. It's like, oh, that's not wrong. It's wrong. No, don't have that. It's like Troughton with the 80s box. I'm like, no, it's wrong. That's not his TARDIS.
Yeah. It's like you wonder, is it maybe a deliberate nod to the hat, or
is it a stylistic choice in what they're doing?
Yeah, I think it's definitely something to do with the plot line. I think it probably is going to be Jodie going back into Tennant before we eventually get the proper 14th Doctor. at the end of either 1 or 3 specials, it's rumored. And I think that would be the right amount of time to tell this story. Like, give
Yeah.
it 3 episodes. Like, let the mystery cook for a little bit, let fans speculate, but also, let us really enjoy having these two back together for a while before we delve into the mystery of why, and like get answers there.
It sort of feels like a great. I don't know if it feels like a nod to Stephen Moffat's original series 5 in a way, where we meet the companion. I'm trying to think how to put it, but it's kind of on that line in a way. I feel if we are getting,
we meet the companion just as the Doctor regenerates, was the original
yeah,
plan. And then he comes back early on, which he then reused in series 6, didn't he?
But
Awesome.
yeah, it's just a mental time.
It really is.
And it's well, if it is 3 specials, do you think it's going to be like feature length or like an hour?
I think at least an hour it's got to be. How would they? Could it be like the 23rd, then Christmas, and then New Year's? Perhaps that would seem the ideal way to go about it.
Yeah, I mean, like you say, 3 special seems to be like a good length, especially with that date as well.
Yeah. So you got Flux, 3 Jodie specials, 3 Tennant specials, and then proper 14th Doctor stuff. Hopefully, then in like April maybe be the right time for that to start if that's the direction they go down. Yeah, so a lot of it's up in the air at the moment. Rachel,
and that's the fun of it.
Yeah, Talali, is that how? Yeah. She's also been spotted there, rumored to be directing. She's come out on Twitter to say, "No, guys, I was there, but I'm not directing." So, I mean, take that for what you will.
I mean, she did mention Cap, and is that a mention to Capaldi?
Yeah. Yeah, she was seen with Matt Lucas the other day as well, wasn't she? So.
And Capaldi as well in Cardiff.
What could be going on?
Because I feel like Capaldi and Eccleston seem like the most unlikely.
Yeah, but I think it depends how busy Matt Smith is. I think he'd go for it in a shot, but he's a busy man at the moment. He's got like that what's it called, prequel Game of Thrones.
I think that's all wrapped up now, isn't it?
They're going to be going into a second series though.
They probably will, but I think there'll be enough time.
It's also a Game of Thrones style series, so he could be dead in the first episode for all we know.
Yeah, that's the thing. Nobody is going to make out. Yeah. Oh, but yeah, it just everything seems to be cooking. Everything seems to be getting the right buzz and reception. It's just wonderful, really. It's really exciting.
It's so exciting to see it just be at the forefront of the news again, I guess.
It's just as well, like people on social media who, like on Facebook, people I'm friends with, like posting who have no real interest in the world of Doctor Who, but they see Tennant and Catherine Tate like, oh, I'm going to share that. And it's just bizarre going, you've never even mentioned Doctor Who, but there it is. It just shows that it's grabbed people again going, oh, what's this?
Yeah, it's like the power that the show had at that time and the way it stayed in the public consciousness even then. Have you seen Stu Bagfall's not review, just discussion of the 14th Doctor announcement?
No, I've not actually. No.
He mentioned something interesting about how Doctor Who as a show, like the story almost never gets talked about. But all the behind the scenes stuff is always going through the news, like Chibnall leaving, Jodie leaving, Russell coming back, all that stuff. Like the last time an actual story was talked about was probably Rosa.
Yeah.
Which is, like, just in terms of public consciousness, in terms of what people actually talk about story-wise. Whereas it's like that, it's the water cooler discussion, isn't it, that people have in the office? It's like, what are they going to talk about then? That's almost, when it comes to casual perception, that's what you're aiming for.
I think because we're so engulfed in the world of Doctor Who. We know like the little story details, what are being rumored and leaked and all that sort of stuff. So I guess we don't see what's being put out in like other media, like you say. So yeah, guess Rosa is the last one where the story was front and center.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, it's fascinating, really, that a show like this it's still getting the viewing figures and such. It's not doing terribly there whatsoever, despite what some people will tell you. It's obviously not doing the same as it was back then, but the show is still very popular and doing quite well.
But again, the television landscape's changed vastly in 15 years. We've seen the rise of streaming platforms, the way we consume media now. You've just got to look how they announce different Doctors, how it was a newspaper, then it became like a Doctor Who Confidential, a live special reveal dedicated like a sit-down talk show. Then you have like a little 2-minute reveal. Then you have social media. I think that just encapsulates how times have changed and how the media landscape's evolved. And I think Russell's certainly going to utilize that to his advantage.
Yeah. I think it's right that we are going for social media now, because that is where a lot of people spend a lot of time, really.
Oh, yeah.
Like, a lot more people will go on social media and actually sit down and watch live TV. I think that's the other thing with streaming, that it's there at your leisure. You don't have to have a specific time to sit down and watch something. Whereas with a lot of, whereas every show on the BBC, you don't have to do that, because obviously iPlayer exists and such. You can record now. There's all that there, but there's still like this perception about it, isn't it, that it's on at this time. And so that's when the main discussion comes and goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, it makes you wonder how different things could be by the time the 60th does roll around.
Yeah. Just mental to think.
Yeah.
Oh, man. What sort of landscape we're going to be in. It just fills you with so much excitement.
Yeah, it's nice to be so excited for Doctor Who again as well.
I mean, I'm looking forward to a centenary in a way, but then, like you say, we've sort of been bit by like Sea Devils and other things, so it's like, okay, I'll reserve judgment. But with this, I've just sort of thrown myself, going, oh my god, it's Tennant and Tate, it's Russell, Ncuti Gatwa, like everything just seems to be hitting the right mark for me and ticking all the boxes.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah.
And it sort of, I don't know about you, but it sort of has the same sort of feel of seeing the first photos of like Matt Smith on the beach and when he was filming Series 5.
Yeah, it does take me back to some similar vibes to that. I think maybe for me it's closer to like Capaldi when he was starting.
Yeah.
And seeing those filming photos. That was probably the last time I was pretty hyped by filming photos.
I mean, they were full of it, really, because that's when like DWSR was rife.
Yeah, they always
And
got a
now
bit
it's
too
back.
carried away after a while. There's some drama there, wasn't there? With them?
Series 10, definitely.
Yeah. But it all sort of died off a bit with the Chibnall era.
I think that's why it's a bit of a culture shock having all these news. Because like we've had radio silence, like you say, the way Flux was marketed and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, it's just great to see promotion for something what we're not gonna know much about for a good couple of months, possibly like a year.
Yeah, that's very true. But yeah, I mean, who knows what the future will bring? Like the next days and weeks, we could be getting even more news, even more hints. But for now, we are very happy with what we've been given.
Yeah, we could be back tomorrow talking about so and so has returned.
Yeah, Matt Smith and Karen Gillan spotted in London.
Yeah,
we'll turn into a Doctor Who leaks and news channel.
Hey, we get the views there.
Yeah, that's true. That's where the money is.
Oh, no.
And I think, I mean, a lot of different channels have been out there the past couple of days, like speculating, discussing, and such, talk about the news, breaking the news. sometimes with live streams. And so thank you to everyone who is joining us right now for having chosen to come and hear our humble opinions on this topic, because this is quite a saturated market, I guess, in a way.
But
everyone and their mother's talking about it, but
it feels right to talk about it. And
Yeah.
it'd been a shame not to, really, because I feel like this is a bit of Doctor Who history happening right now.
it really
know.
is. Yeah. I mean, some people can't get enough of it. So
Yeah.
there's probably people who like hop from one video to the next just to get all different opinions, which is fair enough. All power to them.
But yeah, we're just a little bit biased because, hey, that was the Doctor we grew up with. So, you know.
I'll always remember when the Doctor was Tennant.
Exactly. We've got rose-tinted glasses.
Yeah, we do.
Quite literally.
Oh, Donna tinted glasses.
In this, well, we've got Donna and Rose.
Yeah, it's like a spectacle each.
Yeah, well, yeah. And then
There we
like a wolf frame.
Yeah, well.
Yeah. It's cool.
Oh.
But yeah, it's been fun. It's been fun, like nice little, I wouldn't say impromptu because we like, oh, should we do a stream? But yeah. It's been fun. Been fun.
Be good to chat about. Yeah. Something a bit different for a change.
Yeah, it's just nice to speculate, really. It's just to get the old fan brain engaged.
Yeah. And without the tinfoil hat on, it feels now, because so much has happened that it feels like anything is possible again.
Oh yeah.
Like you're sort of like, I remember when the Tennant rumors first started getting going, we were on stream actually, like this ages ago. And I think it was you, Stylish One, mentioned you've seen the stuff about Tennant possibly being the 14th Doctor. And we're like, what is this nonsense? So like dismissing it. But then as time went on, it did seem more and more likely. We're like, you know what? This sounds like it could be possible.
I just really wanted it by the end of it.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, it's an idea that you dismiss at first. Then the more and more you think about it, the more hyped you get for it. And then you're eventually down that rabbit hole, aren't you?
You see the potential of it. Yeah. And it's amazing how in the space of a week where we have Shooty Gatwa, like people are like, oh, how dare they think Tennant was going to be the next Doctor? How stupid. And then like a week later, here he is.
Yeah, all this has come along. And
it So it's like, oh, maybe we've not seen the last of this, rumor you could laugh off and go, isn't that stupid?
Yeah. It brings hope back, doesn't it?
Yeah. And I remember, I think, seeing like an interview back in, I think the 80s or the 90s, where it was like, oh, do you think your Doctor Who can degenerate into you, John? And he's like, oh, I don't know, anything's possible. So it's like all these weird things, what you sort of like, oh, no, I don't want it. It's happening, And what the curator says, revisit some of the old favourites.
Yeah. And especially if you've got a story reason behind it as well, and like interesting both plot and metatextually, I suppose, like have something to say with it, like I'm sure Russell will, then that's all good. Don't just do it for the nostalgia's sake. Do it to have some fun with the idea, which I'm sure we will get that. But yeah, like you're saying about, you never know what's possible, and a lot of things do get laughed off. Like the idea of a multi-Doctor story was something that was laughed off back in the 70s. Like I'm sure there were a lot of fans who were against that, and certainly Barry and Terence were against that at first. When fans came with that suggestion, they'd be like, "No, we're not going to do that." And then they turned around and asked themselves, "Why do we not want to do that?" And then they got the 3 Doctors together for the 10th anniversary.
And now it's sort of become a staple of, oh, it's an anniversary, so that means the Doctors are coming back. And it's interesting to see what Russell does, because obviously he's going to flip it on its head, I feel.
Yeah, and I think it's a different kind of anniversary, because, I mean, 60th in a way isn't as special. Like when you got 10th, 20th, 25th, and then it's sort of 50th, isn't it, after that, when it comes to like celebrating anniversaries?
Then it's like 75, isn't it?
Yeah. So but yeah, especially when you've also got the 100th of the BBC just before this, like we say, with the centenary, and a Doctor departing just before this as well. So it's not going to be a traditional multi-Doctor story, and I think it would be unfair on Shooty if it was. that, like him being this incoming Doctor, then having David and Catherine and everything all going on around him. I think it's more fair to have this be its own thing before we then get Ncuti in 2024. That's what I hope is the direction we're going to go.
But then again, you think it's the 60th year, all eyes are going to be on the show. You know, what better time not to introduce a new Doctor, just to play devil's advocate in that way.
Yeah.
But I know where you're coming from. I agree.
I mean, he'll still be there at the end.
Yeah.
Tennant will regenerate into Ncuti if that's the direction they go in. So, yeah. Or I suppose he could have a Capaldi style cameo.
Yeah, I'd be down for that.
Yeah, the eyebrows.
Yeah. I
was thinking maybe get the teeth instead, because I feel like that's more of a defining feat, like the smile, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I don't feel like his eyebrows are quite as prominent, but
no.
Or they could then take her for his Max Capricorn.
My name is Max.
The zoom in on his.
Yeah.
I mean, did you go back and watch any Tennant after last night's announcement?
I'm in the mood to watch more Tennant. I wouldn't mind revisiting Partners in Crime again. But Planet of the Ood's calling my name, actually, for some reason.
Yeah, same. I rewatched what was it, Satan Pit and Impossible Planet just before the announcement, right? Like Saturday and Sunday. I watched part 1 and part 2 of that, and then that news came along. So I think Planet of the Ood would be the fitting place for me to go next.
Yeah,
I know, Stylish One, you replied to me on Twitter saying I should watch Partners in Crime, and I would love to, but I have watched that one quite recently as well. So,
I mean, I think I watched it about 5 times in 2018, and I still can't get enough of it.
It's a very easy to rewatch one, isn't it? It's just so fun.
It really is.
I think those are hopefully the vibes we're going to be returning to. Because I think people do forget how much variety Russell's Who had, not just in terms of different writers bringing different things, but Russell himself brought quite a few different genres to it. Like he did that, he sort of had that comedy, especially for his premieres. I think he went comedy a lot. And he could also go very dark, very epic, quite small, like Midnight. He has a lot of range as a writer. And I think Doctor Who is probably the place where he gets to explore that range the most.
Yeah.
It's exciting times. What can we say other than that?
Yeah, I think that's all you can really say. But there's a buzz in the air. Not a Vespa form, but there certainly is a buzz about it all, really. Yeah. Oh, and we're getting a 10th Doctor B&M set. You know, it's looking good for 10th Doctor fans. Plenty of Big Finish on the horizon. It's a good time to be a fan of David Tennant.
Has there been any news on that, or is that just the rumour we've had for a while now?
I think that's what we've had. There's been no little news about anything else coming up.
What if he's got the blue coat in it?
That's the thing. Character drop. There's no reuse there. It's just simple repaint. Character options. Cash in. You know.
Yeah, they might as well.
It's easy enough.
Yeah. Maybe they can finally get the arm articulation.
Yeah, use the old prototype. Yeah, it'd be a good way.
Yeah.
And finally get a proper Donna figure.
Cyrus one says, have you ever noticed the green screen in the background of the opening of Midnight? There's a shot where it's just the green screen with no CGI background. Really?
Yeah, I've noticed. Yeah, it's when he's on the phone to Donna, and he's like, "Oh, well, Planet Midnight. What did we go wrong?"
I'm surprised they haven't gone back to update that. Like, surely that's easy enough to fix because it's in all the other shots.
I wonder if it's like a commentary just going, "Oh, it's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine."
I'm sure there'll be like a special edition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've not noticed that now, but that's going to stick out every time I watch it in future.
Don't watch it then.
Don't watch Midnight. I feel like it's one you can't go back to that often.
It's one you got to be in the right mindset for.
Yeah, it's very good, but there's stuff that is very good, but not as rewatchable. And there's stuff that's not quite on that same level. It's more just like fun, 7 out of 10, stick on and enjoy.
Mhm.
That you could just go for over and over again.
Yeah.
It's like fast food versus a well cooked meal, I guess.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like we need to do like a 10th Doctor tier list now.
Yeah, I suppose
Yeah.
so.
Do that in prep for the return of Russell and David and Catherine.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's 7th Doctor next we got to do, isn't it? But...
Yeah. So maybe that we could do like a new Doctor after, maybe.
Yeah, I'm down for that. Especially Tennant would be the right choice.
Yeah, that'd be cool, actually.
So says, did you know that the BBC iPlayer version of Utopia has the sound effects from the war scene in The Family of Blood dubbed over the scene where Yana opens the watch? Ah.
No, I can't say I know that.
That's interesting.
I normally stick the old DVD on.
I think I go for the iPlayer version, so I probably did watch that one and then not notice it. I mean, it used to be Netflix, but it's gone from there now, so got to go for iPlayer.
They really missed a trick taking it off now. Shooty Gat was for Doctor because they could put Sex Education, Doctor Who together going, if you like Sex Education, you might want to try Doctor Who and vice versa.
There's a brief shot in New Earth where the beam holding Rose in place disappears. Also a shot or two in Vampires of Venice during the Bell Tower scene where the background changes. All the fun facts today.
Yeah.
Trying to think of any I know off the top of my head. Nah, none's coming to mind, I'm afraid.
Yeah. Let's get into that point, really, I guess.
Yeah. I think it's usually when you're watching the stories, all the stuff comes back to you, think, oh yeah, there's going to be a bit here. More so in Classic Who, I feel.
Yeah.
Just because that's also where, because of how that was done, there was much more room for mistakes there, and they couldn't then go back and change them, like the Dalek or the Zarbi bumping into the camera.
Yeah.
Like, I suppose, is it time to invite Mel back in and bid everyone farewell?
I'm just going to leave her to her uni work. Don't tell her.
That's fair.
I'll be a good person and just let her finish her work. Otherwise, she'll be doing an all-nighter.
She'll come in a couple of hours. I think he's still going.
Yeah, she'll believe that. It'll be fine.
Oh, we do go for some long ones sometimes.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, I think we're going to get a bit shorter here, though. An hour and 20 minutes nearly.
Yeah.
Which is still a long one, but short for us.
But considering the topic, I think we've covered it well enough, really.
Yeah. We had a good old chat about it.
Yeah, it's been good. Nice little one to sort of get us back into the world of streaming because we've had a bit of a break. Well, not break, but yeah,
had a week off.
Just because of life. Yeah. But yeah, we should be back rolling now.
Yeah, I think uni's all mopping up for you, so
yeah, on to the next project.
Yeah, more free time to have some fun with these streams. I mean, we've certainly not got a shortage of ideas. Big Finish doesn't have a shortage of upcoming releases to keep us busy.
Yeah, we're definitely going to keep pumping out. We're still going to be here. And of course, we'll cover any more groundbreaking news because, hey, why not?
Yeah. I mean, it's just exciting stuff to talk about, really, isn't it?
It is. It gets the juices flowing.
It's like once you've told all the people in your immediate vicinity about stuff like David Tennant and Catherine Tate coming back, what do you do then? Who do you turn to?
Yeah.
You got to turn to the internet and shout into the void, as it were.
It sort of feels like sort of therapy. Sort of doing these in the way, just going, oh, you can talk about this now.
Yeah.
Instead of it sort of being built up, going, who can I turn to and speak about it? Because, Mel can only stick so long. And we go, isn't this exciting? It's cool.
Sea Boys are back.
Sea Boys are back. Like, I don't even know what a Sea Boy is, but you should learn.
Sit down and prepare yourself. A lecture is on its way.
Oh yeah, she's had that, and I'm sure she'll have many more lectures to come.
Oh. You seen that meme where it's like he's probably thinking about other girls. The Sea Boys are back. The Sea Boys are back.
that was me.
Okay,
Practically New Year's Day.
Oh,
man,
there we go.
great. Yeah, what a good place to end it, I guess.
There we are.
Yeah, well, I mean, 2022, good year. Sea Boys are back. Russell's going full promo. Tennant, Tate, Bernard Cribbins. Amazing stuff.
Yasmin Finney as Rose. Great stuff. I'm assuming she's going to be filming tomorrow. Then maybe we're going to get.
It would make sense, wouldn't it? Because they normally announce stuff before they go on like location in case it leaks.
Yeah,
obviously,
but that was the way with the Mondasian Cybermen. I think probably one of the more famous examples of that.
And I guess for Jadid as well in Gloucester, yeah.
Yeah, that was like the most recent one, really, wasn't it? Strange that it didn't do it for the Sontarans, though, because we all saw those images.
Oh, and then Moffat leaked the Weeping Angels.
Yeah.
Oh, man. It just feels good that it's like, it's all out there now. We can talk about it. I know some people are a bit hit and miss about, no spoilers, but if you're on social media, you can't avoid it.
Yeah. I know some people are even upset about the idea of announcing Tennant while we've still got Jodie's last episode to go, but they're filming it. There was no way to hide it at this point.
It doesn't take away anything because, like, we knew Matt Smith was the Doctor when Tennant was still filming his last few episodes. Like, it's just the way production works, you know?
Yeah. Like, Shooty was announced very late in the day, like, with only one more episode of Jodie to go. Or then again, if he's not quite taking over immediately in the centenary, then maybe it's not quite the case. But yeah, we'll see.
But yeah, I guess that's a good place to end it, really. We will be back Friday for our novel adaptions tier list. Fingers crossed we can finish our homework by then.
Yeah, got a couple more to go. Yeah, I'm a decent way through Cold Fusion at the moment, but I'm listening to some out of order, so I've still got Original Sin to get back to. Maybe I'll stick on Higher Science. I don't know.
No, you can skip that one. You can leave that.
How much more you got to go?
I've got Love and War. I've got a couple left to do. But hopefully I should be able to get them done, and I didn't get too sidetracked with it all.
Yeah.
Oh, you're back. We're just saying goodbye.
Oh, are we? Oh.
Yeah.
I can say goodbye to everyone.
Yeah. What? No. Oh.
Hi, guys.
Have you finished your sway?
Have a look.
Well, you should go back and finish your sway, never mind being here.
It's not going to get finished until about 3 a.m.
Well, good night. Good night, everyone. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you Friday. You won't see us Friday.
Oh, no.
Because
Because I've got work.
You'll be at work, so yeah, fun times for you. But yeah, thank you everyone for joining us, and we'll see you very soon. Goodbye.
Take care, everyone.
Bye.